Thanks for checking in to Mac Guitar Mania. Have you ever wanted to upgrade your guitar and not spend hundreds or thousands of dollars?
Yes.
Just to make it sound better? Yeah. I've got the ticket for you. Today I'm going to start from scratch, rebuilding a Goodwill guitar, a cheapo, but something with good bones. I'm going to make it into another rock monster. I'll show you the process and the techniques and some tips for doing it yourself. You don't have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to modify your guitar. Woo-hoo! Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. This particular video is the first in a 3-part series where I'm taking apart a Goodwill guitar, putting it back together with my favorite monster pickguard. This particular video is all about transferring everything from the monster pickguard to the new matching pickguard. It's a little bit tricky, involves some drill press work, some layout. So hang in there. It's a little long, but I think you should stick around to the end to see how it turns out. So let's jump right in. Today I have a special project on my workbench. It's right here in this box of goodies. If you saw my other video, the Monster Strat, you'll know that I took a Goodwill salvaged piece of junk, $66 guitar. That included shipping and tax. I took that and turned it into my currently favorite guitar. All right, let's take a look inside our box of goodies. We have the neck for the Yamaha EG112C. That's our model. Very basic model, cheap plastic nut. I might take that out and put a new one in. Crappy tuners, but the neck itself is nice, very smooth, semi-polished back. Rosewood fretboard, looks like medium jumbo frets. A decent Strat body, right? Nothing fancy. Humbucker there, single coil, 5-way switch, and volume and tone. I've already taken it apart. You can see inside. Pretty simple, you just cut a couple wires and take it off. I'll show you how that happens when we put it back together. This is a very crappy tremolo bridge. I'm going to see if I can find something a little better for that. Give me suggestions below. Then I have the Magic. This is the Magic. This is what makes our build so unique. This is the same layout. It fits single coil, and humbucker, but this is a full-size humbucker. These are called hut rails. They're like mini humbuckers. The magic is right here. These toggle switches, you flick them off and on. This position, that means each one of these is a single coil pickup. Each one you flip over turns it into a humbucker, humbucker, humbucker. Humbuckers do really nice for distortion, and they cut down on the hum and buzz you get. And we're going to switch out that kill switch. And I had to buy a matching pickguard, eBay, 15, 16 bucks. Because the pre-wired one does not fit the exact shape of my guitar body. I have the whammy bar, and then I think I have some back plates. I want to try one of these to fit on the back. I like everything to be black. And we'll just make it nice and pretty. And if that whammy bar doesn't work real well and it's crappy, I may just put this simple fixed bridge on there. It's not bad. I'm not spending hundreds on this. This is a budget build, but it's going to be sweet and you'll love it. What I wanted to do first was show you basically how you take the whole pickguard off of a Strat style guitar, several other guitars too, but mainly a Strat. So you'll see that I already took all the screws out around here. Sometimes there's 10 or 11. Take those all out, and as you lift this up, you have to be careful. There's a bunch of wires under here, and usually you'll see a black and white coming from this compartment that leads to the input jack. You just cut those, and then there's usually, should be, another black wire coming through the body, going back to the spring compartment, and that's where it's grounded back there. You just simply cut those on this end, and this whole assembly comes off. It's incredible. That's all it is. Leo Fender was a genius in making these modular type guitars where you could just take everything off, put a whole new one on. It's great. So here are our parts. We have the body, pretty simple. It's got 3 springs in the back and a very thin tremolo block, so we might do something about that. This is our new pick guard. I had to buy that to match the Yamaha EG112C. All right, so it looks pretty good when I test it in place. Let's get rid of this tremolo bridge because it's junk. Before we can take the entire assembly out, we have to disconnect these 3 springs. This little wire stays on there. Right on there. You just take this right out. That's what it looks like. That's a tremolo block. All right, there you go. You got the bare body. The only thing really left in here is the ground wire, the spring claw, and then the input jack. Okay, we're going to set this aside. Let's start disassembling the pre-wired pickguard so we can move everything over to the matching pickguard. Here it is right here. Okay, the tricky part is we don't want to tangle or twist these wires. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put letters on each of these pots here. This is the volume, put a V on that, put a T, put a 1 on that to tell me it's the first one, and a T2 on this one. All right. Now that's the way they're going to go back into the new pickguard. The volume up here, tone 1, tone 2. This is the kill switch I mentioned. We are going to change that out. I want this momentary one. It's more fun because you can push it down, let go, push, let go, push, let go. Every time you push down, you cut the signal to your guitar immediately. So it's like, and a lot of guys do it for their like crazy wild leads. They'll do that during a big chord and go, So that's why we're doing a new kill switch. Let's take everything off now. We want to be very careful. We're going to take parts off and keep them neatly in a box. When you take off pickups, it's a little wild because these screws stick through the pick guard, okay? Let me show you this. Your pickup is kind of just hanging loose until you get the screws in it. Now, it comes with a spring. This spring keeps some tension, so when you adjust up or down, the pickup moves accordingly. So the hard part is when you put it back together, you have to put this screw through there, this spring on the screw, and then your pickup over that screw, and then you screw it from this side. Now, taking it apart's easy. You just take everything out and they fall off. Now, I almost forgot. I'm going to just be safe and label these just in case so I don't forget. This is the neck. I'm going to put an N. This is the middle. And of course, we know this is a bridge, but I'm going to put this letter B to show me which way it was facing. So neck, middle, bridge, pickup. This is a great little tool for removing knobs and for also tightening nuts on the guitar. This just slides right underneath. And you can pry up carefully. Then you can grab it with your hands. Now, sometimes they're a little stubborn. Let me show you another tool I have that's really cool and it really protects the guitar. It's a wild little contraption. So what you do, you pull up this ring. See that ring that fell down? Pull that up, put this over the knob like that. Then you push down on this outer ring and it creates the pressure that enables you to wiggle off the knob. Pickups are hanging, see that? Just hanging out. Now what I'm going to do is take my handy little wrench and I'm going to loosen all these nuts a little bit to get everything started. Then I'll do the rest by hand. So just start and get a couple turns on here. See that? Yeah. Do a couple turns. Get a couple turns on that. Come on. Come on, big boy, you can do it. Sometimes these are a trick, man. Let's try something else. Ah, we need a socket for that one. This is even better. Sometimes you need the switch tools. Loosen these up. Come on, guys, you can do it. They're never usually like as tight as car parts have to be. That's a different size. So let's get these 3 switches out of our way. All right, save all our parts. While I'm taking this apart, let me tell you something. A lot of people get really stressed out about the size of these pots. They call these dime-sized pots because they're the size of a dime. A lot of guys are under the impression that they don't work as well as full-size pots. Well, you need to look up Dylan Talks Tone. He has countless videos on these kinds of things, and I'll try to link one up above. It has very little, if anything, to do with the overall tone of the guitar. It's the quality of the pots that matters, not the size. And I have not really come across a big difference in big versus small pots. Now it's time to take these 3 switches off. Hopefully this wrench will work. That's in my way. I gotta get that switch out of my way. Almost forgot. I want to write on these switches also. So let's do this. Let's put a 1, 2, 3 on it. A 1, 2, 3. And those are facing downward, like toward the bottom of the face of the guitar. So these numbers are facing that way. I'm going to write a little arrow so when I transfer everything over, I know which way to put the arrows. The numbers I wrote on here are facing this direction. That helps make sure I put the switches all in the same direction. So in order to take off this kill switch, I have to cut both wires. Now I'm going to probably put some blue tape on this little red wire so that I know that's part of the kill switch, right? Just to be safe. This type of knob, you don't have to worry which wire goes where, like red or white on either side. Here's our mess. Feel like you're fishing with your kids? Now it's time to trace some of these holes from this pre-wired to my matching pickguard made for my Yamaha guitar. So I'm going to position it over here the best I can and see how it looks. I'm looking through the holes. It looks like this slot here is really out of whack with my new one. So I'm gonna have to fit my 3 new switches in here somewhere that isn't too crowded. That's gonna be a little tricky. So I was trying to copy onto my new pickguard, but it's just nowhere near close. And as you can see, the new pickguard only has 2 volume tone holes there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the volume and tone knobs and place them on the body or on top of the pickguard where they should be. And then we will see how this works. The tricky part is going to be getting all this stuff onto the new pickguard. In order to lay this out, I'm going to take the 3 nuts from those little tiny toggle switches and put them on the body. So I want to take a look at my original Monster Strat. And if you look closely, you'll see that I messed up and put this knob, this little toggle switch, too close to this first volume button. Fortunately, I've gotten used to it. But that's going to be a trick. I got to make sure I don't overcrowd the new one. I think I might move these toggles all this way a little bit, maybe even like make them turn. because it's a little too cluttered. The kill switch should be good right there. That's fine. I won't use it that much, but I just want to use it since it was built in. And of course, this is already set where it needs to be. To help with the layout, I'm going to take an old 5-way switch and put it into the pickguard so I can at least see where that lays out compared to the new switches. Here it is with the 5-way switch installed. So at least I can see how far that goes each direction so I don't put anything that's going to get bumped. I'm doing my best to lay this out in a convenient way, but not too cluttered. I'm pretty close to what I'm going to use. I don't want them too close to the pickups because I don't want them to get in the way when I strum, but I can't fit them down the lower part here. It just isn't going to fit. There's no room. Then our kill switch. This is going to be tricky. I'm not going to use this a whole lot, so I think I'll keep it down here in this area here. Yeah, that'll work. At least I won't be hitting the switches when I'm messing with the tone and volume. Now we're over here at the drill press, and I have my holes marked the best I can. I can see them right here. These 3 small holes for the toggles are 1/4 inch. I like to have a block of wood under here to give me something to drill into. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to make a little bit of an arc there. I didn't want to go straight across. I'm going to drill this middle one to the 5/16, and then I might cheat these by moving the hole over a little bit and out this way a little bit so I can actually fit these without them being so crowded. Let's drill this one first to give me the center. I have a couple spare mini pots that I'm going to use as my templates to see how these lay out when I drill them. So let me show you the layout right now. It's way too crowded. See that? These are too close. This is the only one I've drilled that I want to position there. These 2 are sitting on top of temporary pots to try and figure out good spacing. So I have to move this one this direction and that direction a little bit. After trying a few different layouts, I found that I have to drill really close to this existing hole. I'm going to drill enough away, but also so that the knob covers this hole. Okay, it worked. I drilled just a little further outside of each of these outer holes, and on the pot, they're just sitting there, but they're on the pot stem, and they fit and they cover the old holes. We got lucky, people. Dang, that was a lot of stuff to cover. Hope you enjoyed part 1 of my Goodwill guitar rebuild, turning it into another monster. Check back in soon for part 2. Thanks again for watching Mac Guitar Mania. Have a great day.